I've come back from the future to warn you that if you don't subscribe to SSJ, your future is grim. Pokemon Legends ZA has officially been out for about 2 months, with the Mega Dimensions DLC releasing last month. I've spent enough time to give a proper impressions and review, and this DLC feels like a classic Pokemon situation. It's fun, it has some genuinely cool ideas, but it raises the question, is this actually worth the price? Or is it something fans just expected to buy anyway? So let's break down the story, side content, mega evolutions, issues, and whether Mega Dimensions is worth that $30. So, Legends ZA ends with you capturing Zygarde, resolving the central conflict, and becoming the strongest trainer in Kalos, regardless of how much your rival Tawny, the fraud, refuses to accept it. Once you purchase the DLC, you're greeted with a new DLC-specific start screen, and almost immediately a random Mankey drops in from a portal connected to the dimension known as hyperspace. From there, distorted portals begin appearing all over Lumino City, signaling Pokemon from other dimensions are starting to invade Kalos, and that becomes a core problem the DLC revolves around. Story and returning characters. One of the stronger aspects of Mega Dimensions is how it brings back familiar faces, especially Karina from Pokemon X and Y. Karina assists Legends ZA, basically Team MZ, and the player, largely because of their connection to AZ. She acknowledges his passing, which adds emotional continuity if you've completed the base game, and it's a subtle but appreciated touch. Just like X and Y, Karina gives you a Lucario during the post-game. AZ gives the player a Lucario in the endgame, and it's implied that it could be the same Lucario from X and Y. Personally, I don't think that's the case, but it feels more symbolic than literal. Team MZ gets more involvement, and Tawny returns as well. If you haven't completed every side quest beforehand, Tawny eventually leaves on her own after you defeat her in the infinite royal battles in the main game. The dialogue here is surprisingly entertaining, self-aware, comedic at times, and honestly, refreshing. It's also nice seeing Tawny get some shade thrown at her because she talks a lot for someone who keeps losing, and during my actual playthrough of the game, I never lost to her. So the DLC kind of acknowledges that she's a fraud and makes her more tolerable. Side missions and world building. The DLC adds a significant number of new missions, and I know they're new because I had already completed most of the side quests before buying it. I think I only had like 1 or 2 left. These range from standard Pokemon tasks like bringing specific Pokemon to help NPCs to battling trainers, including double battles, which I always enjoy. Double battles have basically been a staple since the Hoenn games, and it's nice seeing them used more consistently. Speaking of Hoenn, it's a little nice detail that Lita mentions that she's from Hoenn and explains she met her Staryu from Hoenn, which has since evolved into Starmie. Moments like that don't impact gameplay much, but they do a lot for immersion and world building. One of my favorite side quests involve Mega Raichu X and Y. Since the trainers are the same woman you originally traded a Raichu and a Lowen Raichu, these callbacks feel rewarding without being forced. Ansha, Donuts, Hooping, and Mega Dimensions. Now let's talk about where the DLC really revolves around. Donuts. The character you'll interact with the most here is Ansha, who is essentially your go-to person for crafting donuts. These donuts are made using berries. After the Hoopa consumes the donut, opens the portals to the Mega Dimension. Ansha actually has a small but interesting side story of her own, which revealed that Diantha, the champion from Pokemon X and Y, is her mother. It's a cool lore reveal that longtime fans will appreciate, even though it doesn't get a lot of screen time. Story-wise, the donut mechanic works. It makes the game clear with these dimensions needed to be dealt with, and Pokemon spilling into Lumino City can cause serious problems. Gameplay-wise, the loop can get pretty competitive. You're constantly gathering donuts, or constantly gathering berries, crafting donuts, feeding Lupa, opening portals, and repeating the process. It's not terrible, but it's definitely padding involved there. It feels like there's padding, and it's definitely something that involves a lot of RNG. Because most of the time when you make a specific donut, it's not a guarantee it's going to be a good one, but most of the time you just mix up the really good hyperspace donuts that you get from the hyperspace. Mega Evolution's bosses and highlights. The Rogue Mega Evolution bosses return along with a few legendary encounters, and this is easily the strongest part of the DLC. Mega Tatsugiru is a standout. It's derpy, weird, but somehow incredibly cool. The dragon roll inspired design and backstory give it more personality than expected. Mega Staraptor absolutely steals the show, for me at least, because Staraptor was absolutely one of the best regional bird Pokemon when it debuted in Diamond and Pearl, and its Mega Evolution just reinforces why it's such a great addition. I'm still unlocking other Mega Evolutions, and while some are stronger than others, overall they range from solid to genuinely fun. Specifically, my Mega Tatsugiru. So there's some issues, glitches, and missed potential. That said, the DLC definitely has issues. Pokemon can get stuck on terrain or objects in the Mega Dimensions, which stands out more than it should in a paid extension. That's $30. Because of this, I usually keep my Pokemon in their Pokeball until it's time for them to fight, or when I actually need them to do something. And while the Mega Dimensions are entertaining, I wish we would have gotten an entirely new area or region to explore, because everything's basically like a hyperspace, similar to like if you've played the Shadow generations on the PlayStation or whatever. How Shadow's basically like in his own little hyperspace. It's the same thing, like a dream world. Everything still revolves around Lumino City, and after a while it feels limiting. So with my final score and verdict, I give the Legend ZA game, if you haven't seen my last video, it was about a 7 out of 10, I think. The game is still enjoyable, but as far as the DLC, I think it's about a 6 out of 10, and honestly, depending on who you ask, it's probably about a 5 out of 10. While the DLC offers a lot to do, outside of some cool side quests and strong boss fights, the story is short and the technical issues stand out. Also, it's just not better than the Isle of Armor or Crown of Tundra DLC from Pokemon Sword and Shield, which gave us entirely new maps to explore. So I know Nintendo can do better. I know they probably won't do better, but because of that, the DLC to me is not worth $30. At best, it's worth $10, maybe $15. But it's definitely not worth 30. So if you've enjoyed this review, make sure to give me a subscribe. Let me know what you think of Pokemon Legends ZA and the Mega Dimensions DLC. Do you agree with the score? And what is your Mega Evolution that is your favorite? Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time. Peace.
She don't wanna be saved, don't save her. 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 She don't wanna be saved.